Across the country, we have a problem. We have schools everywhere where teachers show up every day trying their hardest to change this narrative of what it means to be a student with a disability. But every one of them shows up into a structure and a schedule and a day that's not setting the teachers up for success or the students up for success. This is happening because our schools are operating under a model that is half a century old.
We had teachers and systems who believed that they were doing inclusion, but these students with IEPs are being pulled out and provided instruction in a different area, a different approach even, sometimes not even at grade level. And then we were wondering why we weren't seeing improved outcomes.
I'm in second grade. I'm 7 years old. I'm almost 8. I can't see, so I'm blind. My favorite subject is to read in Braille.
He's our most outgoing child, and he's always has a joke to tell.
We lived in a different state before we moved here, and Ruben was a year and a half at that time when we were realizing that the school district there was going to offer him to be in a special ed classroom only, away from everyone else, from his peers. And we didn't like the direction, and so we wanted to move to a state where he was included with his peers in the classroom, and that's why we moved here.
Our plan is to have inclusive education professional development, inclusive education strategies, inclusive education mindsets happening across our state. And SPED Strategies is the company, is the TA partner, is the catalyst for how we're going to get there.
SPED Strategies is on a mission to transform classrooms across the country. And we do this by ensuring that leaders, educators, and all the adults in schools have all the tools and resources that they need to make sure that students with disabilities are successful in school every day.
They were thought partners in the beginning that really helped us at the Department of Education think differently, and then it expanded into this amazing opportunity for our state.
They're working with local school districts to pilot at a small scale and really demonstrate to the rest of the state how this can be done, how you can really think about the leadership skills that your leaders need and build schedules that think about providing instruction to students in the general education classroom. How you then support teachers with understanding and having the right mindsets and attitudes and beliefs about what students can do so that everybody is successful.
We got approved to be one of the pilot buildings, so we're able to work with Journey to Inclusion to support our staff. The in-person trainings have just been hands down phenomenal. Some of the best training my teachers will say that they've received.
I told my mom that I'm going to be a teacher, and I'm going to invent the time machine when I'm grown up.
Everyone in the school knows Ruben. He is such an amazing kid. And honestly, to see him grow as a learner and to see that he is doing a lot of our grade level expectations and following those standards has been really amazing.
Ruben has been a phenomenal student to work with. He's opened up his peers' eyes to realize that he can really do everything that they can do. So that awareness is that disability really isn't a disability. He just has to learn different ways to do the same thing that his peers are doing.
Often classroom teachers are saying, you know, I would like a special educator or a reading teacher because they're experts and they can really help this child. And so it's kind of flipping that script to say, yes, and you are the first grade expert, you are the second grade expert. And so as a team is how we make this happen.
This is my 16th year teaching. I've probably grown the most ever as a teacher just this year.
What we're seeing is the more that Ruben is with his peers, the more that those peers take on that role.
Providing inclusive education isn't a new thing. It's not a shiny object you pull off a shelf and you start again. This is truly about aligning the high quality instructional materials that you're using, truly making an approach that will allow every single student the same opportunities.
When I'm preparing a lesson for my entire class, I just have to make sure that I have that done ahead of time so we can get that work to the Braillists at our ESU 3, and then they have it back in time. So it's not harder, it's just different and have to be a little more organized.
When we're thinking about the core, when we're thinking about what we do for all kids, this fits. So instead of making it one more thing, how do we tie this into what we're doing? How do we lead with this? Can we examine some of our current practices and possibly shift those back to basics?
I think everybody should be paying attention to Nebraska and what is happening here. It is so hard to change an education system, but what's happening in Nebraska is from the highest level at the state education agency all the way down to the classroom. Change is happening. And it's happening because the state agency has recognized that their role is limited, but they have incredible influence on how they can change the lives of students every day in the classroom. They've really taken this concept of inclusive education and brought that into every level of their system.
It makes me feel great that I'm in with my friends. I feel like I belong.